Well, I'm here with Alan McKenzie and Steve Rawling of Triovest. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in.
Thank you.
Looking forward to spending some time with you, getting some market insights. Wanted to kind of start macro. I know that your guys' portfolio is right across the country in just about every asset type, working with clients, asset management, leasing, things of that nature. So sitting down with you guys and understanding that your portfolio goes right across the country and working with different clients, what are opportunities, challenges that you guys see in terms of understanding markets and the different asset types that you serve?
Well, it's been very common over the last several decades that if things are strong in the West, they're weak in the East, and vice versa. What we're seeing in office and industrial markets in Toronto is very low vacancies, high rental rates, a lot of pressure on creating opportunities for tenants to find spaces in industrial and office buildings in the Greater Toronto Area, as an example. To juxtapose that against Calgary, things are still coming out of some weakness economically in both the office and industrial sectors. Probably a little stronger recovery already underway in the industrial sector in Western Canada, and the office market starting to show some green shoots and potential new investors recalibrating and looking for opportunities to reinvest in Western Canada as they see some momentum in the economy and market cycle out there.
But the approach to leasing office space in a vacancy market like Calgary of 23–24% is vastly different than trying to lease space in a 2% vacancy market in, say, a downtown Toronto Class A. So it does take a deeper dive into research. You got to analyze that research better in order to be able to position your offering and your value proposition so that you can compete harder and better for those few tenants that are out there, for especially some of the larger chunks of space. So our association with CoStar has been very valuable in that market, getting the data so that we can analyze it and put forth offers to tenants and advice to our clients that's just more accurate, more competitive. It's been great.
Fascinating. Without getting into your secret sauce too much, Alan, what are you seeing in terms of the differing markets between, say, for instance, Calgary and Toronto, when it comes to the leasing marketing side to get assets for your clients leased up quicker? Is there different marketing campaigns, different sort of strategies that you go to market with?
Absolutely. So one of our goals is to create some proprietary products and services in our marketplace in order for Triovest itself to compete better against this competition. Steve and I were both instrumental going back about a year ago, going around the country, including Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Montreal, and our Toronto office as well. Collaborating with all the groups from property management, leasing, asset management, and development in order to create what we call Leasing Innovation Protocol, which is a little bit of an innovative product. We've not branded or trademarked it at this stage of the game, but basically it gives all of the people who are involved in leasing in tough markets like a Calgary, as you were referring to, a playbook in which to make sure that no stone is unturned as it relates to trying to attract that tenant and compete against other office buildings that a tenant might be looking at.
So, in a lease-up situation, you're working with multiple clients in a marketplace. Describe to me sort of how the Triovest culture works together in order to service, again, multiple asset types in different geographies right across Canada.
Well, the culture itself is based on 4 principles and 4 pillars. So it's value enhancement obsession, collaboration, innovation, and celebration. So basically, we've created another proprietary product called Asset Max, which allows our asset managers and our property managers, our leasing people, to innovate together collaboratively. Usually there's 25 or 30 people around a room once every 2 weeks on a per asset basis in order to generate the greatest ideas. It's basically idea generation and then execution distributed amongst the group going from that point. Yeah.
And does that group work well? I know, Steve, you've got a business development role looking at sort of new prospects, portfolios that you guys can help with. Do you find that having that collaborative culture helps you, getting to market quicker or ultimately, delivering your message?
Well, our culture of collaboration that Alan referred to helps drive a lot of innovation across different departments, and we're working more interdepartmentally than we ever have. and taking track records and case studies of wins and successes that we've had with our existing clients, and then sharing that information and those wins with potential new clients has been something that's starting to bear fruit with Triovest over the past year or 18 months. And it's a great good news story to be able to share our leasing innovation protocol, our Asset Max tool, which is proprietary to the organization, has started to generate some really great conversations and cemented new relationships and new clients for the organization already.
And because performance counts, and we've performed on a number of these assets using these tools in a collaborative way, it's been very successful.
Oh, that's a really good success story. Hopefully it continues very well for you. You know, we spoke a little bit about office and industrial. I'm curious to get I know your background is quite strong in retail, Alan. What are you seeing in terms of, and there's always a buzzword around Amazon, and Mayfair now is a large grower in the industrial asset. But can you speak just a little bit sort of macro about how retail is impacted by some of these large industrial users?
Well, it's interesting, actually. Those industrial users have put a lot of pressure on, say, the shopping mall and retailers themselves in order for them themselves to innovate. And so innovation is part of product leadership. So it's forcing the shopping center to become a product leader, whereas the Amazons of the world and the eBays and such, they're primarily in the operational excellence space, which is basically efficiency, speed, price point. So it's forced the shopping mall to get innovative. It's forced it to have proprietary offerings, proprietary retailers. The retailers themselves are partnering, I think, more with the large shopping centers than ever before. And quite frankly, it's exciting because the Amazons of the world, through putting the pressure onto the retailer and onto the shopping center, we're developing great products and services that the consumer are really benefiting from. So it's actually an exciting time. Now, not all of the shopping centers are going to succeed. You know, word out of ICSC in New York back last May at the Las Vegas ICSC convention was that 25% of all shopping center space over 100,000 square feet in the United States will be demolished by 2021. So not all will succeed, but those who understand how to position themselves in the marketplace as product leaders and spend the money and are well capitalized and understand how to do the innovation piece and how to engage with property technology, it's an exciting time for the consumer.
You know, so that's interesting insight, Alan. How is Triovest looking to grow their business and portfolio?
Well, right now, in commercial real estate, the assets themselves as a volume of investable product doesn't grow that fast. You got to build an office building, it can take 2 or 3 years to grow. So it's very difficult for us to grow organically that way. So we've decided that one of the main pushes for Triovest growth itself is market share growth. Okay. And so how do we do that? Well, it's about speed of delivery of your product or service to market. So we have all kinds of initiatives across the company in order to improve our speed of delivery. You know, the lease execution, the turnaround, the review of a tenant's covenant prior to doing a deal, et cetera. It is also about your pricing point. So you have to price yourself accurately to your marketplace, not above, not below. The correct pricing is really, really critical. Differentiation is the third sort of pillar of competing for market share. So we've developed proprietary products and services that are very unique to us, that are very value add to our clients. The use of technology. So our engagement with the prop tech world is very, very critical. We have a group that does that. And meaningful innovation is our fifth pillar of competing for market share. So we've developed a group in our company, goes back about 1.5 years ago now, called the Innovation Task Force. Okay. And basically they are a factory inside of our organization that takes all the idea generation from our asset managers, our property managers, our leasing people, our development investment people, and it creates more and more proprietary products and services to us that are value add to our clients. Hopefully that allows us to compete better for market share. So far, so good.
Wow.
Lastly, beyond that, and most importantly, smart hiring is a critical pillar of our overall plan and strategy to achieve success in growing our market share. Not only smart hiring at the senior level, but bringing on the right young people, bringing them up through the organization and giving them a clear path for success and growth has been a way that we've actively tried to differentiate ourselves.
Incredibly insightful, guys. I want to thank you very much for coming in and sharing with us not only your market knowledge and understanding asset types right across Canada, but your unique position, Triovest being one of the market leaders certainly in the service and asset management. And we really appreciate your partnership with us. And so we look forward to continuing that down the road and being valued to you guys.
Much appreciated. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.